we've talked a lot about BTC Pay, both the releases, how it works. I know Kukks, you've gone into a lot of the technical detail, which I think has been really fascinating for me as even someone who isn't technical. Let's take it high level, okay? How does BTC Pay work, and how would you explain it to a 5-year-old?
I'll leave that to you, Pav.
Okay, so it's a self-hosted free payment processor. It's software that allows you to accept Bitcoin payments without fees or without a third party. And if you want me to reference again PayPal or Visa or whatever, it allows you like to be your own PayPal, but with Bitcoin.
I don't know what 5-year-olds you know, but I don't know any 5-year-olds who know what PayPal is.
Well, I need to now bring in my little brother's story, but I think that my brother had like 12 years when he wanted to use PayPal, and then like they decided they cannot use it, so they discovered Bitcoin back in 2012. So you never know. Kids these days are like crazy smart.
That is very true.
For them, all of that seems like they are born with online payments, and it seems normal. Like we used to get fiat money for buying candies back in the day, but now they get like or their Cash App or whatever app, or I don't know.
Actually,
there are actually parents sending sats to their kids, like sending them Bitcoin. I'm not sure which app they use, but they use Bitcoin wallets to like reward their kids for chores they do around their house. So
I know exactly what app you're talking about. I think I met them at Consensus or something like that. But yes, I know exactly what app you're talking about. And yes, I do think kids these days, kind of as they grow up with like online gaming, right? Kind of like the in-app purchasing and kind of that economy, I think has really shifted how people think about online money.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays you can even find credit cards tailored for kids. You're like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, I know. I know.
It's insane. So
yeah, I remember when like I got a cell phone and it was like such a privilege, and now like these kids are like
yeah.
Wow, this makes us sound old, and I feel like we're not that old, but yeah. Speaking of being old, I was talking with some actually I hope he doesn't see this, but I was talking with some blockchain at Berkeley students, and in my head I was like, oh yeah, we're like about the same age, and then I thought about it and we are just not the same age, like at all, like nowhere close.
Yeah. As long as we feel young, that's good. Like I don't care about numbers, so unless it's Bitcoin price or whatever. So
fair. That's fair. Okay. Next question. BTC Pay is to Bitcoin as X is to dollars.
well, I mean, at this point, it's.
And you can't say PayPal.
Yeah, okay. Because you can't even, to be fair, you can't even say PayPal because PayPal is a centralized processor. I don't think there's anything that even comes close to it for fiat, right? Because it's not possible. It's just not possible to have something in that compares, since no matter what you deploy on your own and how many things you try to integrate with it, you still have to use a third party to accept a credit card, unless you're the credit card processor, but then you're the centralized third party anyway. So I don't think X applies to anything. Nothing compares to BTC Pay for fiat.
I don't want even to comment on that. I completely agree with what Kukks said. So it makes perfect sense.
Okay. I'll let it slide just because I agree. Okay. So what would you say is the easiest way for a business that's non-technical? Again, these are, like you said, your mom and pop shops. And I know you guys have done so much to make BTC Pay accessible to non-technical folks, but what would you say is the easiest way to start a BTC Pay or to start on BTC Pay?
So I guess the easiest way, but not the best way, would be you start with a third-party host. So somebody that hosts the BTC Pay server for you, and you set up a store with them. using a hardware wallet, because that's probably the smoothest experience you can get. Then the second way would be to we've been developing an installer wizard kind of thing. It's still not ready, but it's getting there. Which lets you basically have a nice simple UI that lets you install BTCPay Server on any server that you have, like a Pi or a server that you rent from a server provider, or maybe one that you have at home. And I think that will be eventually the easiest way to do it. But for now, there's also there's a wizard that the Luna node developed, so they can you can deploy a BTCPay server using their simple website as well. Yeah, I don't know if there's any other. Well, another way also is to use one of the dedicated hardware suppliers. So there's companies that are providing dedicated hardware machines, portable ones like a Raspberry Pi or other similar hardware based, where you just buy a box, a computer, and they ship it to you. You turn it on, and it has BTCPay Server already installed. You just plug it into the wall socket, connect to the internet, and you're good to go. There's quite a few of them. We have them listed on our website, on our docs, I think, and maybe directory. So.
Yeah, I mean, the easiest way, as Kukks said, would be just to try out some instance that's already allowing people just to try it out. If you get a few transactions and think it's worth it, you can easily self-host a BTCPay server. Right now, if you need any help, you can just tell us on chat, and there is always somebody willing, always somebody's awake on our chat, ready to help people. So don't be scared to ask questions. We are all here to learn, and yeah, we will be able to help you probably in a few minutes if you ask a question. So yeah, besides that, Kukks pretty much covered everything. And in the future, we really want to make deployment easier with the solution he's mentioned, installer. And one day we hope that like every phone is running Linux. Maybe we will have hardware devices running BTCPay server, because people will need like a payment infrastructure on their own, self-sovereign. So we'll see.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, Pav, you seem to have a personal mission, right? Don't you have like a 1 day, 1 Bitcoin store on kind of initiative going on Twitter right now? How's that going?
Yeah, that one is going pretty well. So I was thinking how I can like contribute to community a little bit more and chat to people in community who may not even have a website, are not merchants, and just want to have fun. So I've tweeted like initiative 1 store, 1 Bitcoin, where 1 Bitcoin store 1 day, when in a day I would like to like get people set up with a complete e-commerce solution powered by Bitcoin. So I'm not like genius or anything. I'm just using BTCPay server, and we already have like WordPress inside of it. So I'm basically like deploying BTCPay server and then adding like some environment variables, and then there is a whole website built on top of it. So it's just like, it's quite easy for me, but like people had no idea. And so far, I think we have like 3 websites, and people, all of them set it up themselves. I first asked them, would you like me to set it up for you, or can I provide you a guidance? And if you get stuck at certain step, I promise to like do it for you. And for now, all 3 of them managed to like set up their websites. There is one guy who has like personal website, one who still like yet has to add products to his e-commerce store. And there is one like just testing stuff out. I think he wants to sell books or something like that. So it's also a good way for me to interact with people who, are our potential users or just community members. So I had a really nice chat with 7 or 8 people so far, and I hope like in the next few days we'll actually set up a few more stores. So yeah, if anybody needs like e-commerce store powered by Bitcoin, they can contact me on Twitter and I will set them up pretty easily, or they can just ping me for instructions. And I promise it is not as painful as it sounds. It's quite easy. We have tons of videos and documentation to help you out on that one.
Yeah, and it sounds like definitely, those 3 folks have been able to do it on their own, right? So that's very much a testament to kind of the work you guys have done already in making sure BTCPay is easily deployable, easily usable, and just kind of really meeting merchant needs, right?
Yeah. I hope that it was easy for them, but we really invested quite a lot of efforts into documentation. So I think that also documentation helped them a little bit, but yeah, we'll see. One day my mission is that one day people won't need documentation in order to deploy BTCPay Server, though probably Kukks. I'm not sure if he agrees with that, but maybe one day we'll make it happen. We'll see.
Yeah, that's the goal, right? So.
Very cool. Okay, so any last words or anything that you want people to really know about BTCPay? What's one thing that people should walk away either about who you guys are, what you want to achieve, or yeah, any kind of I guess maybe even like your own thoughts on BTCPay and what you guys are hoping for, looking out for.
From my end, I really hope people actually try it out. I really hope people try out BTCPay and just give it a chance to see what it's all about. We have a great payment processing system, but we also have a lot more software in there that you can use as either as a person trying to integrate it in your own system, or just as an end user that just wants to use a Bitcoin wallet. The wallet system inside it is top notch and has all the features that you'd need and expect from a modern Bitcoin wallet. Yeah.
Yeah, so on my end, I don't want to make it like a little bit more about us. I want to make it a little bit more about people who might be interested into learning stuff and contributing. Just to let them know that it is not as hard as it sounds to contribute to an open source software. You actually gain quite a lot of stuff from it than what you actually give to it, because you gain access to all the community of brilliant people and people who really are passionate about building best possible free software out there. And yeah, so if you have any sort of passion for, I don't know, even if it's writing, marketing, documentation, SEO, design, UX, even if you are not a dev, but of course, if you're a dev, you're more than welcome. There is always a place for you in our community to actually have the impact on what we are building and have the word in what we are building, so that one day you can say to your kids, hey, I at least tried to fix this broken world that you live in one day. Or your kid will be maybe thankful that you fixed something at least in this world. So yeah, you can have a saying, just don't be scared. It's not hard at all. Everybody can contribute. If you look at me, you'll realize right away that anybody can contribute to an open source software like BTCPay Server. So yeah, just give it a try.
Yeah, and I really can't echo that last point enough, which is sorry, can you guys hear the trash truck behind me? Oh, cool. These AirPods are.
I can't.
Wow, these AirPods are awesome. Okay, sorry, let me just repeat that. But yeah, I really can't echo that last thing you said about you know, having more developers or like having more engagement and onboarding onto like an open source project. You know, one of the key parts of our grant program is to make sure that, you know, we can make it more sustainable and viable for people to contribute, whether it's to BTCPay Server or the Bitcoin Core protocol or kind of any of the myriad of crypto projects that are out there. So I really can't stress that enough. And then I think it's all that cycle, right? The more developers you have, the more people you have that can make a product that people want to adopt, right? And so kind of really just creating and supporting that circle, I think, is really important. And yeah, I mean, like I said, we love what you guys are doing. Clearly, I'm very excited about each new release you guys have. You know, it's been really great hearing how both of you think about the project, about where it's going. And again, it's been really, really nice to kind of have your historical input, I think, on BTCPay, which I think is funny to say, but I guess 2 years is a long time in crypto history.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah. Great, awesome. Well, thanks so much for chatting with me today. I really appreciate it. And I guess next time we'll just have to do it with drinks, right?
Sounds good.
So some of us here already did that interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having us and for constantly like trying to be involved with what we are doing and how we are progressing, and of course for supporting us. It really means a lot to us.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course.